Hello and good evening. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Welcome to News at 10. The Health Ministry MOH has once again confirmed that to date no deaths due to the COVID-19 vaccine have been reported. Deputy Health Minister too, Dato' Aaron Ago Dagang, told the Dewan Rakyat today that though the ministry has received a total of 590 reports of deaths among COVID-19 vaccine recipients, after an evaluation conducted on the impact of the vaccine, none was found to have died because of the vaccine. Meanwhile, Dato' Aaron Ago said to date no application for special financial aid for severe adverse COVID-19 effects have been granted approval for those who have reported to experience serious side effects from taking the vaccine.
Banyak 22,000 lebih laporan kesan adverse telah diterima melalui sistem pelaporan sedia ada. Ini bersama dengan 0.45 laporan bagi setiap 1,000 dos vaksin. Daripada jumlah ini, 1,483 laporan dikategorikan sebagai serius ataupun ini bersama dengan 0.03 bagi setiap 1,000 dos yang diberi.
He also said that all cases that had been categorized as serious would be thoroughly investigated by the related health facility. The investigation report added would then be submitted to the COVID-19 Vaccine Special Pharmacovigilance Committee for assessments for the casualties between the side effects and the vaccine taken. COVID-19 self-test kits today can be obtained for less than RM7 per unit. Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Alexander Nantalinggi said the sale of these kits would be expanded to more premises and made available at supermarkets, convenience stores and petrol stations. At the launching of the sale of the COVID-19 self-test kits at KK Supermart at KLIA2 today, Datuk Seri Nanta said although his ministry was informed the price of these kits was being offered at RM6.90 per unit, there were outlets such as KK Supermart that were selling them at a lower price of RM6.60 per unit.
Ambil contohlah, ya. Mungkin di premis lain masih mahal lagi, tapi yang penting adalah menggunakan test kit ini sudah tentunya sesiapa nak memerlukan merentas daerah, merentas negeri dan sebagainya dapatlah menggunakan peranti ini.
He said the decision to expand the sales of COVID-19 test kits would be beneficial and result in a drop in prices, improve competitiveness in retail sector and maintain supply. School administrators have the authority to inspect a teacher's vaccination certificate beginning today. Senior Education Minister Dato' Dr. Razzie Jidin said the move was to ensure that no teacher fails to adhere to the circular issued by the Public Service Department JPA, which made it compulsory for civil servants to get vaccinated.
Jadi kita akan pastikan supaya setiap seorang guru itu akan disemak sijil vaksinasi mereka oleh pihak sekolah bagi memastikan data terkini yang ada ini pada 1 November adalah data yang begitu tepat dan untuk membolehkan jika sebarang tindakan ingin diambil kemudian tindakan itu adalah berdasarkan data yang tepat.
The senior minister was met after having an engagement session at Sekolah Kebangsaan Air Molek Melaka. In the latest circular, JPA said it was mandatory for all civil servants, including teachers, to be fully vaccinated before 1st November or disciplinary action, including dismissal, will be taken against them. The move is to ensure that teachers and the Education Ministry create a safe environment for school children and students at a time when the country is still facing the COVID-19 threat. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob today launched the National Vaccine Development Roadmap (PPVN) and Malaysian Genome and Vaccine Institute (MGVI) in an effort to turn the country into a hub for vaccine production and boost confidence in vaccine use. Through PPVN and MGVI, Malaysia could produce its own vaccines that are of quality, effective and safe in accordance with the conditions set by the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency and PRA.
Walaupun pembangunan R&D dan penghasilan vaksin ini merupakan suatu pelaburan yang tinggi, tetapi ia berpotensi memberikan pulangan jangka panjang buat keluarga Malaysia melalui penjimatan kos merawat penyakit selain daripada membawa pelaburan syarikat-syarikat multinasional ke Malaysia. Melalui pelaksanaan PPVN dan penubuhan MGVI ini, modal insan berkemahiran tinggi dalam pelbagai bidang penyelidikan, terutamanya yang berkaitan dengan kesihatan dan vaksin akan dapat dilahirkan.
The Prime Minister was speaking at the launching ceremony at the Malaysian Genome Institute MGI in Bangi. Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri also expressed confidence that Malaysia could reduce its dependence on vaccine producing countries when it strengthened the country's health security. Later during a media conference, the Prime Minister said the government has agreed to automatically extend the services of experts involved in vaccine research in universities with a 5-year contract when they reach the retirement age of 60. This decision takes immediate effect to ensure that the relevant experts who are still carrying out research related to vaccines, especially those involving subjects marketable in the international market, can continue and complete their research. He said the government is doing this to retain the talent of many international recognized Malaysian experts who might be enticed by other countries when they reach retirement.
Jadi tidak ada lagi soal insecure dari segi tugas yang sedang mereka laksanakan. Jadi mereka dah boleh teruskan selama 5 tahun. Dan selepas itu kita akan melihat dari segi keperluan sama ada boleh tambah 5 tahun lagi ataupun tidak.
Asked on the number of researchers who will benefit from the government's decision, he said the data would be obtained from the Science, Technology and Innovation Ministry, MOSTI, and Higher Education Ministry. No political party or person is above the law. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, in stressing this, said even when the country is currently under Phase 4 of the National Recovery Plan, clear standard operating procedures (SOP) that had been announced based on the Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases Act 1988, Act 342, must be complied with at all times.
Jadi sesiapa sahaja, saya ulang sekali lagi, sesiapa sahaja, parti mana sekalipun tidak terlindung ataupun kebal daripada undang-undang, jika mereka melakukan kesalahan, tindakan pasti diambil. Jadi kita tidak ada kompromi. Tidak ada istilah orang biasa, orang kayangan, orang biasa kena, orang kayangan tak kena. No. Undang-undang ini sama saja. Jadi saya harap semua rakyat patuh kepada SOP.
Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said this in response to media reports on the compound issued to several political parties for defying the SOPs for holding a social event relating to the Melaka polls. Malaysia's COVID-19 cases dipped to 4,626 today, making it the second consecutive day that infection have been below the 5,000 mark. Yesterday, the number of cases stood at 4,979, while on 25th October, cases were at 4,782. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said this brings the total number of COVID-19 cases in the country since the start of the pandemic to 2,476,000. 1,268. He added that the detailed daily data could be found on the COVID Now portal after midnight. Also citing the COVID Now portal, the Health Ministry earlier said that 36 new COVID-19 fatalities were recorded yesterday, bringing the cumulative death toll to 28,912. Of the number, 7 deaths were classified as brought-in dead. Drugs worth 8.1 million ringgit seized in KLIA. But first, the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Industry Blueprint 2021-2025, which was unveiled today, aims to boost the revival of medical tourism as the country gears towards the COVID-19 endemic phase. Health Minister Khairy Jamaluddin described the blueprint formulated by the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council (MHTC) as unique and future-facing as to further establish Malaysia as a leading travel destination and provide a clear guide to country's healthcare value chain and industry. Speaking during the virtual launch, Khairy said the blueprint covered 5 different approaches and is anchored on 3 strategic pillars, namely healthcare travel ecosystem, Malaysia healthcare brand and market strategic initiatives.
Over the past decade, Malaysia has received numerous international accolades, stamping our mark of quality in our healthcare offerings within the region. In July last year, we demonstrated how public-private partnerships between organizations such as the National Security Council, the Ministry of Health, the Immigration Department, and the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council can result in the safe and controlled reopening of borders.
As the country transitioned into endemicity, the minister said its key priorities include the maintenance of high-quality care and safety above all else. Khairy also said that Malaysia needed to up the ante by embracing digitalization of the entire patient journey experience. Malaysia is set to be a hub for dispute resolution globally with the launch of Arbitration Rules 2021, the first Sharia-guided dispute resolutions by the Asian International Arbitration Centre AIAC in Kuala Lumpur today. Speaking at the launch of Arbitration Rules 2021, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Parliament and Law, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar said the Islamic arbitration framework of the AIAC will put Malaysia on a strong foundation in spearheading the advancement of alternative dispute resolution ADR in Islamic finance.
If you look at the Islamic financing, it's increasingly become a very important medium internationally. So if you look at what I have also mentioned in the Middle East, Africa, Asia, Islamic finance. So we actually would like to be the hub.
According to the minister, the total assets of the global Islamic financial services industry, IFSI, grew by 10.7% year-on-year, with a total worth estimated at $2.7 trillion as at 2020. Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi added that the development of the ADR landscape is in line with the growth of IFSI. He also said that Islamic arbitration is an alternative financial solution in order to expedite dispute settlement in a less cumbersome way compared to going to court. The newly launched Chai Niao Aeropolis Electronic World Trade Platform EWTP Hub has positioned Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA as the regional distribution centre RDC in the Asia Pacific market. Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad MAHB Managing Director Datuk Iskandar Mizal Mahmud said the hub was welcomed several cargo logistic operators as contract logistic players, providing space for their end customers such as cargo operators and retail electronics company. With its massive 1.1 million square feet warehouse spaces, Datuk Iskandar said the hub enables operators with a faster turnaround as well as value-added services such as new light manufacturing, assembly, repairs and return logistics.
In terms of how much we can actually go up, I think if you're looking at the overall perspective of things within a 5 to 10 year period, we're looking to double the capacity or the volume that is being carried out of KLIA. We have always been doing 700. With this capacity, we're going to be looking at to double the capacity, and hopefully we're going to be able to work really, really hard on getting there as soon as possible time.
Meanwhile, Transport Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong, who officiated at the launch of the hub, noted that the Chai Niao EWTP Hub, together with Royal Customs Malaysia, has put in place a customs clearance system that would take only 1.5 hours to complete, a vast improvement from the 24 to 48 hours previously.
In the past, we talk about custom clearance about 24 to 48 hours. With this setup, it has been reduced significantly from 24 to 48 hours to only 1.5 hours, which is 90 minutes.
Three Myanmar nationals were charged at the Butterworth Magistrates Municipal Court today with kidnapping a fellow countryman and asking for 3,000 ringgit in ransom last month. The accused, Abdul Rahim Ali Husson, Tahir Ahmad Mustafa Ahmad and Mustaq Ahmad Rafiq Ahmad, nodded to indicate they understood the charge, which was read to them in Bahasa Melayu before Magistrate Nur Farah Hazwani Osman. No pleas were recorded from them as the case is under the High Court's jurisdiction. The trio were jointly charged with kidnapping a fellow countryman at a house in Kampung Masjid Sungai Layar in Sungai Petani, Kedah between 8:10 p.m. on 21st October and 8:25 p.m. on 24th October. They were charged under Section 3 of the Kidnapping Act 1961, Act 365, read together with Section 34 of the Penal Code, and if convicted, they will face the death penalty or life imprisonment, and if not sentenced to death, they can be whipped. The court then fixed 3rd December for mention of the case pending the chemist report. Two cargo airlines workers were among 4 people arrested for allegedly attempt to smuggle 200 kilograms of drugs to New Zealand. Bukit Aman Narcotics Crime Investigation Department NCID Director Datuk Razaruddin Hussein said all the suspects aged between 35 and 59 were arrested in a series of raids in the KL International Airport, KLIA, and Klang Valley on 22nd until 26 October. Datuk Razaruddin said the police were alerted by the Malaysia Airport Berhad MAB security after they found the consignment to be suspicious under the security scanner. Upon inspection, police found 180 packets of shabu weighing 200 kilograms, and the value of the seized drugs has been estimated to be around 8.1 million ringgit. He said the cargo workers' role was to facilitate the smooth courier process in terms of logistics, and the 2 others had played the role of forwarding agents for the syndicate.
Dan sebelum ini, penghantaran telah bermula daripada siasatan telah bermula pada April tahun ini. Ini adalah penghantaran kelima yang dapat ditumpaskan oleh dengan bantuan oleh pihak security MAB, dan kita telah pun membuat rampasan tersebut.
All those arrested will be investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. The suspects have been remanded until Friday. Alright, so that's it from us this evening. In our top story, no deaths due to COVID-19 vaccines reported so far. Join us again for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Thank you for watching.